Thursday was the official start of spring, and with it comes the return of the Capitol Art and Craft Festival at the Dallas Expo Center. The festival is one of the biggest and most colorful displays featuring art from creatives around our region. Earlier this morning, we were joined by the show's director, Judy Spargo, and one of the featured fashion designers in this year's festival. And joining me now is artist Sharon West, whose artwork you can see in this year's show. Good to have you with us.
Good morning, Maureen.
All right, so take us in. Show us your art and talk a little bit about it. What do you do?
Okay, so I'm a palette knife painter. I paint thickly textured, very colorful and bright paintings. You can see my paint here is super thick, and I apply it really thick with a palette knife just to give my art vibrancy. And it's just a lot of fun to paint.
I love that.
Give you a little demo here.
The texture is incredible.
This kind of art.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this kind of art is very freeing to paint. You can't be photorealistic, and I don't try to be perfect, and so that's sort of part of the appeal. It just has kind of a natural, lot of movement and energy to it.
So listen, I understand you come from a art family, a background. How exactly did you get started? And talk a little bit about your background.
Yeah, so my mom was a palette knife painter, so I grew up watching her. And my grandfather was an artist, my sister's an artist, I've got tons of artist cousins. But yet I still went into marketing as my career. But when my youngest went off to college, I just decided, I'm going to start. And I set up a studio in my bathroom and I started painting. But then when the pandemic hit, I just realized, it's time for me to. I was director of marketing for a software company for 10 years, and I just realized this is not my calling. So I decided to go full time, and I've never looked back.
What is about art that's freeing for you?
So you can be so creative. You can get inspiration from your surroundings. I paint a lot of nature, a lot of local scenes. Right now, the cherry blossoms are really inspiring me. So I've got, Washington Monument and different monuments with the cherry blossoms. So all those things around me, I'm able to draw from and just enjoy and share my love of this with other people.
What do you think people get
And that's one of the great things about this show, too.
Yeah. I was going to say, when people come out and they see your work, what do you think it is that pulls them in? I love the textured art because for me, I'm a tactile person, so I love that sort of feel for it, just kind of even touching it. But what do you think draws people into your artwork?
Not a lot of people use a palette knife, and so it's unusual. Certainly the texture and the bright colors, but then people are really fascinated by the technique.
And you know what? As we're watching you work, to the naked eye, it looks like you're just putting dollops of paint there on the canvas. But after a while, it takes shape, and you're doing a flower, you're doing a leaf, and it really just all comes together. How do you master this technique? Is it trial and error? Is this just natural gift?
Well, it does just take time with it. Like I said, my mom was a palette knife painter, and so when I started painting, I just decided the palette knife would be my tool of choice. And I fell in love with texture, and so I just did a lot of trial and error to figure out, I used things like building materials and spackle, everything, but then I learned that there are tools within the art world that can help create the texture, so I moved on to that.
Well, Sharon, your work is beautiful. I know folks can come out and see your work and purchase your art at the Capitol Art and Craft Festival happening today and tomorrow at the Dallas Expo Center. Ticket information there on your screen. Sharon is just one of many artists and people who do art and crafts there at the Expo, so check them out. Good stuff happening. Sharon, thank you so much, and continue to just soar with your beautiful artwork. We appreciate it this morning.
Thank you so much.